So I just wanted to talk about how the movie Shall We Dance was built because I think it can be helpful if you are also writing a screenplay. I found about this movie in this thesis, and it talks about this movie and its American remake. So before making a remake, Miramax took distribution of this movie and they changed narration that happens in the very beginning. It's the opening scene. So in Miramax version, the narration talks about Japanese culture and how they see dancing. So basically dancing is something embarrassing for Japanese people. I think what's important here also is that they mention spousal relationship, and I think they did a good job emphasizing on that because in the movie we don't have any direct confrontations between spouses. And you could say it's a lack of communication, but because we had this narration in the beginning, we can understand it better and just focus on the more important stuff what movie wants us to tell. So in second scene we meet our main character Sugiyama and we learn that he is an office worker and that he is not having fun with his coworkers. So it's not clear when you watch it first time, but the conversation they're having it's very boring and he just runs away from them just saying that he's tired. Next scene is him in a train on his way home and we see that he almost falls asleep and this reinforces the idea that he is indeed tired. Once he is home, he again says that he will go to bed without dinner because he's tired. And next morning, when he wakes up, he does this deep breath, like frustrated breath. And so we know that he is very tired from his life. Now, what I like the most in this movie is how he discovers the dance studio. So it happens from his train window. He sees a woman looking out of the dance studio. And then we have this interesting shot from out of train. And you might think, oh, it's such a nice cinematic scene, but actually, it's a foreshadowing because the same shot will be used over and over again throughout the movie and it has some dramatic effect because the thing is, so the train stops close to this dance studio and he needs to take action to make decision very quickly. He has few seconds and he is always negotiating throughout the movie. Should he leave the train here and go to dance studio or should he continue his commute and go home? So I really like that this tension that's with this train. Another important thing that is established in the beginning of the movie is this area that he has to pass from train station to his way home with bicycle. So first you might think, oh, it's just a beautiful light, so it's something cinematic, but actually later it plays an important role because he uses this area to practice dancing further. And also we see this dog owner and runner again. And once he becomes happier with dancing, he starts to say hello to the dog owner. And we might conclude that previously he was also seeing dog owner, but he was not saying hi. But now that he's happier because he found dancing and he enjoys it a lot, now he is more friendly to his environment as well. Next thing I want to talk about is my favorite character in this movie is Toyoko. And my favorite moment in the movie is introduction of Toyoko. So we have this first lesson, and in the background she just drinks water and then just sits and watches them. And we have other women also standing there, so it's not clear that this character later will play important role. And I really like that. Because the rest of the characters, once they are introduced, you know that they will play a role. You know that these other students will have some role, and teacher and the rest of them. But not with Toyoko, because she starts very slowly and then it builds, and later she is one of the main characters. And I really like this development. So actually her introduction was a bit earlier, and she actually pushes Sugiyama into the dance studio when he is still negotiating with himself and it's hard for him to do the first step. But I personally could not catch it because she looks so different here. My another favorite moment here is when Mei looks to a train station and sees Sugiyama practicing the steps. Because up to this point, we always see Sugiyama looking up to dance studio, and it's the first time when dance studio is looking down to him, and I really like this shot. I think the message of this movie is to just follow your inspirations no matter what it is, because for Sugiyama, first he got interested in dancing because of Mei, because of this woman in the window, but later he found that he likes dancing and it just makes him happier. I think also community played a big role because he got a lot of support and he made new friends. And before that, his only friends were his coworkers, and he didn't find their company interesting. So in this movie, there are 3 scenes when characters just stand and explain themselves. So it happens when Mei and Sugiyama stay alone and they tell each other how they got inspired from each other and how their lives changed after meeting each other. I personally think that was a bit extra because it was obvious, and later Mei also sends him a letter where she also explains how he affected her life, and I think that letter would be enough. And then there is also the scene where Masahiro Tanaka explains himself, and I think that was also a bit extra. But overall, I really liked this movie. Also, I liked that it was shot on locations, and I like when in backgrounds there is lots of stuff. It's not just staged background, but they really found studios, I think. So I like when it's busy in the background. As for the tension, I don't think there is any tension at any point in this movie. So you can watch it when you are very tired and you just want to feel good because it won't really challenge any emotions or anything. It will be just nice to watch. And yes, I really like this movie. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Bye.